We all know what happened in 2020, the years that changed everything. For those people who had to do school online or graduate online during that time, I feel so deeply sorry for you. You know, all these missing memories we have from that time period are really quite sad. A lot of us who are younger, when I say younger, I mean like 30 and below maybe, 25 and below, 26 and below, I don't know. I say 26 and below because I'm 26, but besides the point, a lot of us got to miss the very important things, you know, our 20s, our graduation, our high school years, our whatever, our proms, or whatever it could be, right? We missed so many key memories that we lost a lot of life, and that is something that can never be made up. And so a lot of us are struggling through that. We're missing a lot of our formative memories because they got stolen from us. And during that whole period of isolation, I feel like it mentally broke a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people can handle isolation all that well, because I've noticed after it, there's been more crazy people, for one, and more extreme people. And I don't think we've ever really returned back to normal. I mean, really, think about it. Things have not been the same since that year. When people spent so much time inside doing really nothing, internet culture became human culture. And the internet culture is not really the best culture. It's one of reactiveness and anger and extreme opinions. And so a lot of people got radicalized. All that time spent in echo chambers made people so far in one direction. And not the band. If anyone says the band, I'm deleting my channel, okay? One person make a comment, I'll delete my channel. I usually don't lie. I might be a liar there. Besides the point, everyone moved so far into a direction. And I myself, I deeply isolated during that time period. I didn't see people for months. And the psychological effects of that are truly damaging. Even today, I'm still not very social. Sure, it could be introversion, but still, I think it's a little bit of both. And the long-term consequences of this are probably worse than we'll ever imagine. The face coverings we had to wear definitely did not help children develop their ability to read lips and facial expressions, which is a key part in life satisfaction. We have mirror neurons. And the mirror neurons, what they do is they make you mirror the person in front of you. So let's say I smile at you, you smile back. That's your mirror neurons firing off, right? I frown, you frown back. Your mirror neurons firing off. But when we have our faces covered during developmental years, those neurons do not develop. And so I smile at this person, they will not smile back because they never got those things developed. And that's kind of how I am personally, actually. And it has nothing to do with this whole thing, but it's not good. It turns you into a person who lives purely in their head. And when you don't really develop yourself mentally, even inside your head's pretty dull. And that's not good. Dull outside, dull inside. It's not a really good combo to have. And I haven't been in school for this whole time frame, but what I have noticed, at least from what I've seen online, and I know online's not a good way to judge things, I've seen that the emotional regulation of people have gotten worse. You know, you'll see videos of schools and stuff like that, and people have gotten so disrespectful to their teachers that I think it has something to do with the fact that the internet culture has completely promoted that. I know when I was young, I played video games, we would be so insulting to each other. That's actually why I'm so good at debating and arguing with people nowadays, is because I spent my childhood arguing with people on Call of Duty. You know, I got called a squeaker, and I would say something, oh, hey, at least I'm not an old man. And, you know, funny story, once my voice dropped from puberty, I actually started getting called an old man on video games. So I guess you really can't win, right? Besides the point, though, I feel like we lost a lot of our, I want to say accountability. Because the internet is an anonymous place per se. Not completely, but it is in a way. And so when you have that mask, people will be very rude and vile because they don't have any repercussions for it. And usually the truth behind that is it's kind of just them being upset with the way the world is or their life is. And the world's not gotten better since that year. So we have more and more and more of that. People are just getting angrier and angrier. And eventually, we're gonna have to go back to normal. I mean, it's been, I don't know, 5, 6 years now? So maybe we're not going back to normal, but we should. But I don't think we will, because we're diving deeper into it. The corporations are funding it, the government's funding it, AI development and all that is going to be another big step into isolation of people. You know, we're in one layer of isolation already. You know, it used to be person to person to event, person perceives reality. Now it's person perceives reality through device, person interacts through device. So there's one layer of separation between you and the world already. Let me talk about my great-grandpa, for example. My great-grandpa fought in World War II. I think he crashed his moped at 90-something years old. 90-something years old. Nowadays, a lot of kids would be even scared to ride a moped or do anything along those lines. You know, there was a certain risk tolerance that was much higher back then. And nowadays, we've become so sheltered that we are very fearful of things, talking to women or talking to random strangers was not so frightening to people back in the day. But nowadays, it's just like unheard of. America has always been a hyper individualistic country, but after this whole phase we went through, it's even more individualistic than ever. And it's so much so to the extent that there is no community, there's no similarities at all between people. I mean, really, when you look around you, when you say community, if you live in America or any Western country probably at this point, when you think community, what do you think of? I mean, really, maybe you think of a football team, a soccer team, basketball team, maybe some sports team or group you're in, right? Maybe you think of your Discord friends. Maybe you think of your friends in real life. But that's not community. That's just your social circle. The community's gone. There's not even really good community places anymore. Back in the day, people used to have social gathering places. It used to be, I don't actually know what it was. Maybe a restaurant, maybe certain places. People would socially gather there, right? There is no more social gathering places other than the bars, the clubs, and these are all degenerate places where you're not going to meet anyone of quality. I mean, realistically, if your shared common interest is taking recreational substances and drinking alcohol, you are not going to find someone who's of high quality because that's not a high quality hobby, right? I remember we used to think that the world was going to end in 2012, and on the day it was supposed to end, I sat under a tree as a child, and I felt like the world did end. I don't know why. When I think back to it, it was just so euphoric, so nostalgic, and maybe it's the memory playing with me, but I don't feel like we've really been living since that time frame. Things have gotten so unlifelike. And I'm not saying derealization or anything like that. I'm just saying that the world we live in is not the world it should be. But hey, on the bright side, at least we're in such a crazy time to be alive because we're going to see a lot of crazy changes in the future. And honestly, it's going to be way cooler or way more dystopian than anyone's ever seen before. Sure, my great-grandpa might have been around for the nuke to be dropped on Japan, but maybe we'll be around to see the Matrix become a reality, right?